All right, welcome back. We continue live with the showdown. Steelers 1-3, 2 games behind everyone. 2 home games coming up. To me, they're must in both situations with Denver and Seattle, and Seattle's looking good. Well, you talked about the defense. I thought they got gashed today, quite frankly. Not enough plays, turnover department. They gave up a lot of first or third down conversions, and they left guys wide open. Devin Bush and Joe Schobert really haven't shown me enough, and Devin Bush concerns me. Is he a concern to you?
He's concerned considering, what the expectations were for this guy. When you trade up and get a guy in the top 10, I mean, I get he's coming off an injury, but he's almost a year removed. They feel that he's healthy enough to play or he wouldn't be out there. I mean, I think, if you're going to make that kind of pick, the expectation level should be higher for him than it should be, for Rob Spillane. Okay, which is one of the other options is there. So yeah, I mean, I'm concerned because again, this team, if we're looking at this team offensively, it almost looks like it did in 2019 when it had Duck Hodges back there. So the defense needs to be lights out, and it's not. And that if that doesn't change quick, it's going to be what could be a long season, could be miserable.
I think what we have to keep in perspective here when we're talking about the defense kind of writ large is that the offense is so bad. Like the defense maybe needs to do more, but that it's already sort of a near impossible ask that's being put on them every game. I know those guys, TJ Watt, can say, oh, we have to stop trying to do so much, play in, play out. But if you give those guys truth serum, they know how bad the offense is. They know how good they have to be every week. And I think that would lead almost any group to press, especially in an NFL that's so offensively biased with how the rules are enforced and everything else. As for Devin Bush, Will, I've heard people, I don't know if either of you guys, Will or Paul, have had people tell you this. Oh, well, the good thing about Devin Bush will be if you don't notice him in a given game, like one of those deals, like a rookie left tackle, let's say. No. You move up 10 spots and draft Devin Bush 10th overall because you expect to hear his name called a whole bunch in a game, making splash plays, batting down passes. I saw Levante David make the play of the game maybe at the end on 3rd and 3 in that Patriots-Bucks game. That guy is one of the best cover linebackers in the last 15 years in the NFL. That's the kind of guy you drafted Devin Bush to be, and he has not been close to that yet.
Well, I mean, I think that's a big thing with this defense is that you look at the guys that are supposed to be making plays, and really they didn't. TJ Watt, for all he did, I know he got 2 sacks. One of them was a guy fell to his feet, and he happened to be the guy that touched him. But he really didn't do a whole lot today. You look at Devin Bush, as Chris said, you moved up to get him in the top 10 or whatever. He's got to make a lot of big plays, and he just doesn't. The secondary, I mean, it's kind of shaping into what I thought it would be, which is, Joe Hayden and a bunch of guys that really are just kind of guys. And I think what's a little bit frustrating is that, Minkah Fitzpatrick, who everyone wants to sign up and give $100 million to, I haven't seen that from him. I've seen at times when he's a great player. I've seen a lot of times, too, when he's just sort of ordinary. And so, obviously not having a Lulu on the line and Tuitt not on the line, that hurts. But, I mean, are we going to sit here and pretend like they didn't get manhandled up front today by the Packers? I mean, I thought the Packers were a running team watching this game today because anytime they wanted to run, it seemed like they were able to put their head down, go forward, and get 5 yards.
And they're doing it with a young offensive line, too, that has their issues, and you wouldn't have never known that. All right, real quick, just because of short of time, move to you, Will, about the field goal attempt by Mason Crosby, blocked. Legit block, I thought. Couldn't believe there was a flag. It was a game-changing play. Make no mistake, they were not the better team, the Steelers. Green Bay won this game, deserved to. However, that call, should the Steelers have told that referee crew that, hey, we noticed something with this guy at center, and he does it. I don't know if they did or didn't, but it should have been called. Number 2, should it be eligible for review? All touchdowns are reviewed, scoring plays. That's a scoring play. Moving forward, is that something they should consider?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Pomp, though. I mean, look, sometimes you get hosed. I mean, do I think that they could, if it was going the other way, would we be having this conversation if the Packers have returned a field goal for, I don't know if we would, right? So let's just admit the blinders here, right? Because this happened to the Steelers, we care about it. Personally, I think if you have to rely on block kicks to win games, you're not in a good position. So yes, something like that, if it's that big a play, if the play does go for a touchdown, then it should be reviewable automatically. But I mean, if we start looking for reviews on penalties and stuff, that leads you down a slippery slope. The game's already long enough. I don't need it to last any longer.
We have these, pylon cams. You get all these fisheye looking cameras that are unbelievably cool, and we don't have a straight down the line. You can see the ball and you can see Joe Hayden's head or body or any body part relative to where he's supposed to be when that ball starts to move. Like, we didn't get one true definitive angle. I thought it was bang, bang. And what would frustrate me if I were a Steelers fan is not that they maybe missed that call. It's that, again, I'll go back to a game in prime time just now. Patriots going on their final drive. A blatant false start gets missed.
Right.
How do you call a penalty? And I know it's two different crews. You call a penalty like that has an 11-point swing or whatever it is involved. And in this Patriots game, you have the refs just completely whiff in a huge situation. That is frustrating on a basic level.
It is, but for, refs are part of the game. I mean, they're human. There's a human element to what they do. Quite frankly, I'm okay with it. I know that people get all upset every time there's a big call in a game. Well, you know what? If you watch 15 NFL games, there's probably going to be 11 or 12 where there's a big call that's missed or people think should have gone the other way. I do not want us to add more to replay. I'm of the belief that we have too much replay. There's too much of this obsession with trying to get it exactly right every single time, and what it leads to is 5-minute replays to figure out if a ball was 3 inches further so they can get a first down or not. That's not what it was designed to do. I don't want more replay.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Pitt winners big time at Georgia Tech and Heisman Trophy talk for a Pitt quarterback. We'll get into that next right here on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.